Yeah, dog. Welcome to REKT to Riches. I'm Thomas G. Don't forget to pound that like button, drop a comment. Always remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm for damn sure not a professional. These are my personal opinions only. Your pure entertainment purposes only. And follow me on X. I'll put a little Twitter link in the video here. No link in the description, but you'll get the point. So I'm gonna say it, all right? There's gonna be a lot of people that don't like this, and a lot of people that won't say it, won't admit to it. But you gotta live and learn, all right? Pulsechain Sacrifices, including the Pulsechain and Pulsechain Sacrifice, at this point have ruined lives. Okay? Yeah, I was a big sacrificer in Pulsechain and Pulsechain. And I sacrificed in 9-inch. I didn't sacrifice in liquid loans. We'll get to all those right now. But you know what? Congratulations to Jack Levin. Congratulations, because you shine here at this point. He introduced Zen, but he introduced first principles. And he said that fair launched crypto is going to be the way of the future for crypto. The only way. Okay? And this is to completely try to minimize and eliminate ultimate wreckage beyond your wildest dreams, because we took money that we made in a bull market, and everybody had some change at this point, 2+ years ago, to invest in the Pulsechain Sacrifice. And we are wrecked. We've been wrecked. If you've been able to trade your way out of it and break even like I have and then get out and come back in, great. But a lot of people haven't. A lot of people that I know are not sharing that story. They didn't get lucky like I did. It was luck. It was luck. I like to say I got some skill, but I got lucky to just do a few things to not be ultra wrecked. But by gosh, there's a lot of wrecked people. What was the point of taking all that money? ICOs, sacrifices, whatever you want to call it, are not the way of crypto. Fair launch. No pre-mine. No pre-sale. No sacrifice. No ICO. None of that. Everyone has the opportunity to start off and mint tokens the moment it launches, like Zen. And even Titan X, another clear example of a fair launched crypto. That is the way of the future, and the only way. Because if there continues to be pre-sales and sacrifices that people invest in, whether you have expectation of the worker of others or not, or whether you are expecting or you do have expectations, it doesn't matter. You're going to get wrecked. You're going to lose. Because not only did you lose the money that you invested in 2 years ago, but if you would have held that money and not went into the Pulsechain Sacrifice and held on to it, you could have cashed it out to your bank. You could have lived off of it. You could have invested it into other opportunities and potentially had more gains and wouldn't have had to wait around for 2 years to then be wrecked and get dumped on. It wasn't a fair launch. Pulsechain and Pulsechain, there's no way to put it. Love it or hate it, agree or not, it's not the way it should be. And that's why Richard Hart is in the scenario he's in with the SEC. It was $1 billion sacrifice, ICO, the same shit. Whether he came out and said no expectations of the work of others, it doesn't matter. $1 billion wasn't raised because they had no expectations, I can guarantee you that. But if that $1 billion had never got in to a sacrifice, that's a lot of money that coulda, woulda, shoulda been in the hands of the people still, who could have waited until Pulsechain launched and got way more bang for your buck throughout the past several months since Pulsechain has launched and PulseX. And history repeated itself because there was a sacrifice for 9-inch. Got me. Learned my lesson on both of those. Didn't get in on liquid loans. Look how wrecked 9-inch is. Look how wrecked liquid loans is. Holy shit. $51 million sacrifice. $51 million of money sacrificed on Pulsechain for liquid loans. And the sentiment is awful. People got out. People aren't wanting to go in as much as people want to go out. And people are like, buy now the opportunity. Get out of here. Get out of here. I don't want to invest in anything that's not a fair launch, that doesn't participate in a fair launch crypto and first principles, just like Elon Musk said. And Jack Levin put the life into the crypto space. It doesn't make sense. $51 million raised in a liquid loan sacrifice, $50,000 in liquidity to start off with. It's a joke. And you want to know something that's even worse? It's going to get worse because Pulsechain and PulseX is under the microscope of the SEC, and they can't get their hands on Richard. They can't even serve him for him to see his day in court. So everything that umbrellas at this point that they can get their hands on, Hexy bastard from 9inch, the liquid loans team, the SEC, you could guarantee, has already received files and complaints from people that were part of that sacrifice as well, as an illegal, unregistered security offer. And they will have to reach max pain beyond the pain that they have already brung at the launch of their platform, and they will continue to suffer and bleed out. So I'm not a financial advisor, but if I had sacrificed for liquid loans, I would be getting out and waiting for max pain if I decided to get back in. 9inch, I sold at the launch because of my experience of what happened with the Pulsechain Sacrifice. If it's not a fair launch, it's not fair, and it's not going to be fair to the investors. Pre-sales always historically have done this. It's just a different name to try to wiggle your way through legal problems, which the problem is still there. The SEC is still after Richard. They don't care that he used the term sacrificed. But Pulsechain Sacrifices have ruined lives. $1 billion could have been in the hands of people still that could have put that money to work, could have brought it back into the real world, could have done anything but wait for 2 years just to be in this position. Regardless if Pulse does well in the future, a lot of people are the weak hands that are being shaken out that Richard is trying to supposedly shake out. Unfortunately, he's shaking out his sacrificers that have no choice but to get out of the loss. Because, listen, at this point, it's been years. Some people don't have that time. Some people don't got it like that. And Pulsechain Sacrifices are ruining lives. And it's going to affect the entire chain. And it will continue to affect the entire chain until Richard settles the dispute with the SEC and either fights it or loses and pays a fine. But liquid loans will be served. Guarantee. Hexy bastard from 9inch will be served. Guarantee. And they will go down even more because of that. You think they're going to get away? No, the SEC says they're mad. They can't get in touch with Richard. Well, let's go after these other people who took $51 million and wrecked their community, their people, which I guarantee you right now, nobody's happy. You just have those people with hopium that are hoping that people start to buy. But if you look at the chart, it's horrible. And fair launch crypto is the way to go. Jack Levin, Zen, even Titan X. You want to call Titan X Jake a scammer? He didn't take ICL money. He didn't pre-mine. He didn't take an upfront cost or any type of money in the form of a sacrifice. Fair launch. Call it what you want to call it. Call him what you want to call it. But look what happened. Look what's happened. Let's learn from it. Till next time, we'll do it again. Yeah, dog.